Yeah, then you have the butcher. You know, the butcher is the guy who works and processes all the meat items, meat, chicken, fish, poultry, seafood, and that kind of stuff. All right, pastry chef. Yes, the pastry kitchen. We normally have a pastry chef, and there you prepare all the sweet stuff, you know, breads, pastries, cakes. The pastry chef actually has a little bit a different position in the hierarchy. Here in this diagram you can see that he is a little bit beneath the executive chef, or even beneath the executive sous chef. But this diagram here is just an example. It can vary from operation to operation. But in general, I can tell you, in large kitchen or catering operations, the pastry chef is a very, very important guy. Not only the pastry chef, but the entire pastry department. But since pastry is a little bit different than cooking, yeah. For example, in Germany, you have to, if you want to become a chef, you learn you train for 3 years. So the profession of a chef in Germany is a well-established profession. You need to do an exam, you graduate, and then you can call yourself a professional chef. And it's the same with pastry. To become a pastry chef, you need to study, train for 3 years, and then you do an exam. These are 2 different fields, yeah. And therefore, the pastry chef has kind of an elevated position in any kitchen. Yes, technically, he always reports to the executive chef, but from my experience, I know you want to make sure you have a great relationship with your pastry chef, and you want to make sure you treat him on eye level, yeah, because he or she is so important. Most of the chefs, I can tell you, they have no bloody idea about pastries. They don't even know how to prepare the most simple desserts, for example, let alone breads or other stuff, okay? I am one of these chefs who was always interested in pastries. You know, the pastry department was indeed my favorite department during my training in Germany at the time. Also due to the fact because nice people worked there, you know, because in the other kitchens, you know, we had these rough cookies, these old-fashioned guys who were screaming and yelling and, you know, making my life very uncomfortable. And in the pastry kitchen, the pastry chef was a very nice guy. He was polite, he respected us, and of course, all the food was sweet in this kitchen. So anyway, but no, I learned a lot. I was interested, and then later on, when I came to America, I eventually worked as a pastry sous chef. Yeah, so I do have some understanding and knowledge. I can prepare pastries and cakes. So. I'm not so good with breads. This is again a completely different world. Breads, you know, bread baking is a science for itself. So long story short, the pastry chef is very, very important. Then now we come to the kitchen supervisor positions, like the chef garde manger, for example, the chef de parties. These are the chef de parties are the section heads. They are responsible for the individual sections. You have, for example, the cold kitchen. You have the hot kitchen. Yeah, the cold kitchen is the garde manger. This is a French term. So this guy normally is responsible for the cold items, for the salads, for the dressings. Yeah, for any kind of appetizers and stuff. And yeah, what else? You have the same then in the hot kitchen. Any good organized hot kitchen has, or well organized hot kitchen has, a chef de partie. Chef de partie is a supervisor. You need the supervisors in your kitchen, obviously. And below the chef de partie is the demi-chef. Yeah, the demi-chef is basically also kind of a semi-supervisor. Okay, so when the chef de partie is off duty, then the demi-chef assumes all the functions and responsibilities of a chef de partie. And then below that we have actually the commis de cuisines, or we actually call it only commis, okay? Commis is also a French term and means basically, if I'm not mistaken, kitchen helper. If you really translate it word to word, it means just kitchen helper, okay? In Germany, for example, like I said, you have to train for 3 years, then you graduate, and then you do an exam, you make an exam, and then hopefully, you then pass, yeah? And then once you pass your examination, and then when you apply for a first job, this position is called commis de cuisine, yeah? Not chef de cuisine, just the commis de cuisine, a kitchen helper. But actually you're not a kitchen helper anymore in Germany because you already trained 3 years and you are a young cook. That's what we call in Germany if we translate this position. I know it maybe sounds too confusing for you guys now, and I hope I don't ramble on too much here, but these are important details. So, and I also want you that you learn something about different countries and different systems. So commis de cuisine is a kitchen helper. It's a young cook, it's a beginner, it's a rookie, okay? And then you can see in the hierarchy. And then actually, what is before the commis? Before the commis are the apprentices and the trainees. This is how it starts, yeah? So you start, now we flip this whole thing over, yeah? You start as a trainee or as an apprentice, then the next position is a commis, then the next position is the demi-chef, the chef de partie. Then in some hotel operations you have a chef tournant, but this is not important now. And then so on and so on. And in certain restaurant kitchens you have different stations, yeah. And in very sophisticated restaurants or fine dining restaurants, you even have more stations. You not only have a hot kitchen and a cold kitchen, but you also have, for example, like a station where you only do the meats and stuff and cook all the meats, yeah. And then you have other sections. It's called the entremetier, where you, for example, just cook vegetables, potatoes, and egg dishes, yeah. In former times, a very long time ago, there was even a soup cook, yeah. A guy who only prepares soups, stocks, vegetables and stuff. There is a name for this position. It's the potager, yeah. All are French terms because they stem from a very, very long time ago, a time when France or the French chefs were very, very famous, yeah, and actually cooking and this whole cuisine thing you can still see today. A lot of kitchen terms are French based, and this is because of the old times, you know. The culinary profession was very much developed and advanced in France, and many trends and techniques, and the whole art of cooking and culinary actually has mainly its roots in France.